god. Oh my god. What's going on YouTube and what up to the Dragon Squad? I am Ember, the Blaze.
And I'm Glacier, the Iceborn.
And we are ReactionDragonz, coming to you from the Dragon's Lair. And a quick reminder guys, if you like the vibe, like and subscribe.
Doesn't cost a dime and helps us go full time.
Do it! Do it! Do it. Do it.
Thanks so much for the support guys, and what's on the menu for today, Glacier?
We're back at you with some more Dark, Season 2, Episode 2, Dark Matter.
Dark Matter. First episode of Season 2 started off with a fucking bang, because just adding more pieces to this mosaic of a masterpiece of a puzzle, so it's crazy. I mean, a couple things that we touched based on is, of course, with the end of the episode, Jonas finally goes past the wall, risking his own life for it, no less. The Geiger counter starts going crazy, and then he sees what seems to be a wormhole, possibly made by that dark matter that Claudia was talking about in the tape.
And then God, he put on the suit before he went in that room.
Yeah, exactly. That shit was definitely highly radioactive. So the question is, like, I'm asking myself, like, in the future, what methods do they have to time travel? Because we know that the machine that the stranger used is all but destroyed.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the cave is closed in because I'm assuming Jonas would have went through it by now.
Because even adult Jonas said, I thought I destroyed it, but I only closed it.
They never said that there was a path that actually you could walk to the future. So maybe
I don't think, like, to get to like the 2052 timelines, I feel like it has to go through that wormhole.
Yeah, that wormhole.
Or that what we call the dark matter is probably what they'll touch on this episode.
And how random is it though? Like,
yeah, does it go to a designated time, or is it just kind of like a crapshoot wherever you end up?
Yeah, it's like a blender.
I mean, we do know that, like, based on like what Tynehouse was talking about, like the time travel, it's gonna be 33 years in one direction or another, or it could be 66 years, or it could be 99 years apparently. Like, fuck, the gates are wide open.
Yeah, I mean, still a lot on it. We got the pretty classic question, like, who the fuck is that guy? When we saw Adam.
Yeah, Adam, he's definitely like a big question mark. I mean, he's got the scars all over his face. That look like they've been there for some time. He's bald, so I would say that he's probably been exposed to a fuckload of radiation. That would make sense if Adam himself was from the future, and that's how he was time traveling, was through that dark matter portal. Because Noah looks at Adam the same way that Helgi looks at Noah. Where, like, he probably told him a bunch of shit that's already happened, and that's how Noah kind of like joined him. Probably went out at a young age.
And what still stuck with me on that first episode too is I'm again assuming it's old Bartosz when he told him, like, why do you think Adam picked you? Why does he name you Noah? Like,
exactly, and the way he said it, like, he sent you here. So I was thinking at first, oh, maybe Noah's from the 1921 timeline, but it could also be a possibility that Noah himself is from the future, and Adam, maybe he's met him in the future, maybe Adam's further into the future and told him, oh, you have to go back to 1921 to start to build this tunnel, and you're gonna recruit Bartosz and take him with you. But yeah, the guy in the beginning that Noah killed, more and more lean, that's adult Bartosz. Especially the face, like, they don't do casting on accident. There's no way hell you just have him as a little, like,
it's the same little slumped face, like,
yeah, same like lips,
everything, like, it looks exactly the same. Especially when it showed Bartosz later on with him and when they showed him and Martha sitting down, and he was like bummed out because Martha and him are breaking up because they haven't been, because he has like all this reserve shit he can't tell her too. Exactly.
So yeah, I feel like, I mean, hopefully we get that reveal. We're right on that shit. I still want to see, like, there's so much time as far as like the 6 months between when Jonas created that wormhole that all the timelines could see, and then the actual apocalypse. So I definitely want to see, like, what happens in that 6 month period, because we know obviously Regina's cancer has definitely spread. I mean, hopefully she survives that. It doesn't look good for her, but I feel like maybe she has some shit that some secrets that she's been holding from both everybody in Winden and us as the audience. That'll probably open up even more can of worms as far as what's going on there. Charlotte, I mean, the thing that we were kind of talking about is, like, it was clear that major characters saw that wormhole open in season finale. But it seems like in the first episode of season 2, no one's really talking about it.
Right.
I mean, I feel like the only person that's really thinking about it is Charlotte, because we know that she knows that Ehrlich is in 1953. But it seems like her boss is such a hard ass as micromanaging. All he cares about is the disappearances that are going on in that particular time period.
No one's gonna take time travel.
But
seriously.
Alexander, we know Alexander and Regina saw it, and so have they said anything in the past 6 months about it? Who else in 2018 seen it?
I don't think anyone else. The only people that know about time travel though is Peter and
Peter and Tronte know about it.
They're the only one else that Alex and Regina can actually talk to aside from Charlotte.
But I would assume it's like equivalent to like seeing some crazy ass storm, or even seeing like a UFO. Like, you see it in the moment. Oh my god, what the fuck was that? It was so weird.
And if you don't get no evidence of it, you can go talk to somebody about it.
Yeah, you don't ever see it again for 6 months. Everything goes back to normal. You're just going back to these disappearances. I guess it's one of those things that people kind of think about in the moment, and then they either just forget about it, or the powers that be, the cops, whatever, like, no, I don't know what it was. Don't worry about it. It's just like some phenomenon can't be explained. So
yeah, it's a hoax. You're full of shit.
But yeah, I feel like Charlotte's definitely going to talk about it, and she's kind of battling against her superior, but I feel like at a certain point, she's just gonna say, fuck whatever mission you're giving me, I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole and see what's going on.
And one of the other major questions is like, fucking 6 months, Charlotte, like, I'm assuming she has, maybe we just haven't seen, but like, did you not try to go get Ehrlich or find Ehrlich? Like,
maybe she doesn't like fully grasp what's going on because she doesn't know about the tunnel. She doesn't know about anything else that's going on with time travel, so she doesn't really have anything. So
and
maybe
at this point, if she's looking that far back, she's probably like, oh, he's probably dead. But I wonder if she's like looked to see. You know what I mean? Like, if he's back there, then that means he's here at this point.
I feel like she's gonna maybe talk to the right people that know something about something, and that'll kind of lead her. Or maybe the stranger will find her. Who knows? Because we know the stranger isn't back in 2019 talking to his mom. I feel like ultimately maybe he's just trying to save his mom from the apocalypse that's pending. Because at that point, I think the apocalypse was gonna happen in what, like 7 days or 6 days?
6 days, something like that. Like,
so maybe he's just trying to save her from that ill fate of dying in the blast.
Possibly, yeah.
Because she's still in the dark about everything too. Like, so I don't know. Like, it seems like she believes him just based on the shit that he's telling her about, like what he knows that only her son would know.
Right. And at this point, how beneficial is keeping the stranger alive at this point? Because for Noah, I'm saying, because Noah needed him alive to create it, which at this point he did. So is he still vested in keeping him alive, or do you think at this point he's like, oh, get rid of him?
I mean, the thing is, he's definitely still crucial as far as like, well, I'll say Mikkel's definitely crucial in 1986. And we know that the Nielsen's, it seems like all the Nielsen's are going to be time traveling because we know Ehrlich's in 1953. I still feel like if he didn't get released or broken out of jail, he's going to be there and he's going to be an old man in the 80s. So hopefully we see some shit like that. But let's say like Martha and Magnus, I feel like they're definitely going to the cave. Katarina was already in the cave.
Yeah.
So we don't know if they're going to end up going to different timelines and how that's going to fuck. Because the thing about it, any of them see Mikkel, they're going to get his ass. Oh my God, we look for him. Oh my God, thanks so much. My baby's okay.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Mikkel leaves that timeline, Jonas ceases to exist. The stranger ceases to exist. He never creates a wormhole. He never.
Which, yeah, I'm saying Noah's not going to let that happen. The stranger's not going to let that happen. And that's part of it. Like, if they go through the timeline, my biggest question is always, like, in the whole show, which most of the people watching the show is, like, what's breaking the loop? So if they we do end up seeing him go in the timeline, and it's like this crazy as fuck scenario. It's like, but was it meant to happen?
And if that's the case, is the stranger Jonas going to know that the Nielsen's are in the A's, and is he going to have to go there and stop them from fucking with Mikkel?
Right. Like,
there's so much on the line when it comes to that.
That's why I want to know, like, how far ahead do they know? I'm guessing they know up to the point. No, they know past the apocalypse too, because like I said, we're in 2052. So I guess I don't know. That's what I'm saying. What is breaking the loop? What's not breaking the loop?
And then also that I want to see, like, also in that 6-month period, what happened to Elizabeth? Because some crazy shit must have happened between, you know, when we see her as a little girl, she's finally going, like her and Peter in the clock shop, and they find the picture that Townhouse had that has Adam, it has Noah in there, and it's from 1921. So I'm guessing at some point Elizabeth, maybe in the blast, Elizabeth's parents like Charlotte and Peter both die, and that's what kind of moves her towards like joining the time cult.
Yep. But I'm probably like just resentment. Like once she figures it all out, who knows? It could be like on their deathbed, mom and dad on their deathbed, and both their mom and dad know about time travel. They could have just said some shit to her and passed away.
Because at this point, I mean, they both know at least something about something. They both know about Claudia. They both know about,
which is good because now they have common ground. Now it's not like Peter like fucking acting like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, now they actually like have an honest conversation about what the fuck's going on, and whatever they don't know, at least they'll work together to find.
Right at this point, so they found Noah's picture and they met down like this is Noah, and they had all that they had all the shit on the wall, like kind of like how Claudia did. Now it's getting me thinking because it's the same bunker. Is it them that has all those shits, and Claudia it never was Claudia that put all that up? Now that I'm thinking about it.
I mean that's the thing. We don't know for sure if it's Claudia that put the pictures up or if it was somebody else.
I'm thinking that now as we're talking, like, because
they could have been trying to plot the show, like all the players that are involved and how they're connected.
And because Charlotte has that detective mindset where she's in like,
so maybe it's her that puts up the suspect.
Son of a bitch.
And also thinking about it, like with Townhouse, so he has the picture. We know somehow he's linked to what I'm calling the time cult until we get another name for him. And we know that I feel like Claudia finds that blueprint sometime in the future, whether it's 2052 or 2085. But who made the blueprint? Here's a theory. What if Townhouse, like 86 Townhouse, somehow, like he obviously knows that the stranger exists. He knows the time machine. He rebuilt the time machine. Yeah. Maybe he tries to fucking with it, and maybe he gets zapped to the future, and he's the one that builds the blueprint, but he doesn't draw the schematics for the blueprint until he's in the future because he has the technology. So what if that is all one big loop? He goes to the future, he makes a blueprint, something happens, he either dies of old age or something kills him, and then all he has left behind is the blueprint, and that's how Claudia finds it, and Claudia has to take that blueprint, take it to his 53 self so he can like start the loop over again. That sounds like some like paradox shit that would happen. But yeah, ultimately I just want to see, I know like, I'm guessing like throughout season 2 we're going to kind of get like the moments leading up, like 6-day time period leading up to when the plan actually gets So I'm sure we're going to get answers of where everybody's at the moment, because we have theories, and we know Alexander is pretty much putting all those drums back in the plant because he's expecting to decommission the plant.
Yep.
I feel like that's plenty of ammunition to cause a big ass explosion. I feel like that's maybe like the main catalyst, but we still don't know the details of how it happened. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm ready to get in this episode, see how far down the rabbit hole we go. Ready, Glacier?
Ready to get my mind blown.
Absolutely. And as usual, guys, just take a couple seconds, hit the like button down below. The impressions do lead to more views. You can catch the full watch along to episode 3 waiting for you on the Patreon. With that being said, let's fucking go. Who's talking? Is Claudia? Yep. Yep, so that portal's time travel for sure.
Oh shit.
Oh, see, they have a generator. So that means Claudia's been like experimenting with this shit this whole time.
Yeah, look at that. You know what's crazy is no one's here guarding this shit.
I mean, we know the time code. Well, if they catch you here, you're getting executed. Look, yeah, radiation levels.
Shit.
Shit, you think you got it? Damn.
Oh, we got it.
Perfect sphere. Perfectly balanced.
Oh shit.
Wow.
So what happens if you touch it when it's doing all that flippy floppy shit? Nothing?
Maybe it's just unstable.
Oh no.
Damn. Need more power.
So can you not touch it right now? Like, let me just fuck with it.
I kind of want Jonas to do it, but at the same time, I don't want Jonas to do it.
I'm trying to do it. I'm not gonna run up and touch it either. I'll probably throw something there. I was like,
That's crazy. You've seen it in its like purest form, or at least she said like it's like liquid, gas, and solid all at the same time. Bro, the visuals in the intro are like god tier.
okay, why?
So it does transcend all the timelines.
Oh, Mickle. See, it does throw you off, right? Because you think the stranger with all the magazines and.
It was a great misdirect. Look, is that a replica of the International Space Station?
What about that robot down there? Is that the?
Looks like Wally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at Wally.
It's probably more like Short Circuit Johnny 5 because Wally didn't exist yet.
Meine Mutter hat heute Geburtstag.
Oh shit.
So that means Katarina's birthday is June 22nd. Okay.
Weißt du, was wir darüber gesagt haben? Die Vergangenheit ist die Vergangenheit.
Jetzt ist jetzt.
Now is now. Alright, I was gonna move on.
It's such profound meaning, though.
Hast du die bloß aufgetrieben?
It's a long story.
Does he not realize it?
Sieht ja aus wie Grill.
Gosh, shit. No, definitely not. They're getting rickrolled right now, too.
Es gibt da was ich dir sagen muss.
Hallo, Opa.
Oh shit.
Hey, Regina.
Yeah, Virginia looking better now. Like, she got that confidence going on.
Hey, Shakon. She's probably dating Alexander at this
Yeah.
point.
Schon okay.
Finden Sie es nicht außergewöhnlich,
Was?
dass Alexander Tiedemann den Nachnamen seiner Frau angenommen hat?
Ah, that's a nice real name. All right, so I mean, he's no dummy for
No,
sure.
he's no
So
dummy.
he's talking to Regina. He wants to talk to Regina about Alexander.
Kommen Sie?
Ja.
Now get your nosy ass out of my desk.
And I wonder if he has deeper ties to any of these. Like, who is he related to?
Well, he saw the picture.
He saw it.
Saw Noah.
Wann, wo warst du denn?
Oh, here we go.
Wieso hast du mich
Like I
nicht...
saw you with that hooker.
Ich habe die ganze Zeit versucht, dich zu erreichen.
Blasen 40 €.
God.
Analverkehr kosten extra.
Oh yeah, thinks she's working for him.
Mit wem hast du das gemacht? Hä?
Ich verkaufe nicht meine Titten oder mein Arsch. Ich verkaufe Rezepte für eine scheiß Hormontherapie, du Idiot. Vater hat die
shit.
Bezahlung für seine Besuche benutzt.
Nice. She,
So
she flipped it back on him.
Damn. He's like, how the fuck did you do that? So she was getting like selling hormone therapy to the hooker because obviously like seems like he's transitioning to be a woman. But did she say her dad stopped taking him? Was her dad trying to?
Or his dad was the one that was supplying it for him, and then she stopped seeing. And he
So,
stopped
okay, so
seeing
he
it.
was seeing, he was seeing the hooker. He was getting, she wanted to become a woman, so he was helping her via the hormone, and he was getting.
Oh shit!
Oh, he brought the box.
They're gonna travel through this.
Was ist das?
Eine Zeitmaschine.
I would assume at this point it doesn't work, or maybe
It
it's
looks
still-
like it does. Damn.
Mit dem Apparat kann man 33 Jahre in die Vergangenheit und 33 Jahre in die Zukunft reisen.
Du meinst es ernst, ja?
Prove it. Take her.
Is that what you're gonna do? Get the fuck out of here.
Ich habe alles falsch gemacht. Ich habe versucht, ein Geheimnis zu bewahren.
So I'm just gonna share it instead.
Mama, ich weiß, das klingt bescheuert. Deswegen will ich, dass du selber siehst.
Yep.
Mit eigenen Augen.
Damn.
Aber das Geheimnis.
Holy
What?
shit.
He
So,
knows, oh, because he knows that.
so he's taking her to the 80s. Fuck, he's taking her to the 80s.
Oh, because
taking her to
he
86.
doesn't know Mickle is Michael yet.
No, I'm saying she doesn't know any of that shit that's going on.
Did
So
he already explain that to her when he first talked to her last episode? Did he break that down to her? Like,
maybe, but she probably not absorbing it, so that's why he's like, oh, you have to see it for yourself. So are we under the assumption that the time machine didn't break when he opened the wormhole?
I thought it did. He's built it again. I don't fucking know. Oh shit! There's my future boo.
Machana, komm mal jetzt.
Damn, Hannah didn't come
I already
talk
got
to
the little sparky eyes.
Yeah, fuck
He's like, man,
this.
fuck school.
Das ist wegen dem Hund. Sie sagt, er gehört ihr.
Claudia from the future. Fuck! She's gonna meet her future self. Fuck!
Oh.
This is why she goes in the future, because her future self talks to her, probably tells her what's gonna happen.
Das ist ihr Hund.
Bro, I'm so fucking mind blown.
Und sie sieht aus wie der Hund, den ich hatte, als ich ein Kind war.
You're not wrong.
Look at her eye color. Is her eye color same? Brown and blue?
She's gotta see it. Like, you look so familiar.
Woher wissen Sie das?
Weil es mein Hund ist.
Look at the casting.
Wie es Dana ist.
Oh shit.
They look like they're related. Are they related in real life?
So hat schon gestreut. Ins Krankenhaus. Freitag schon.
Wait, he has cancer too?
Oh.
That's what he wanted to tell Claudia. That's fucked up because what Ulrich said to
Yeah,
him
that's what I'm
too.
saying. I was thinking the same shit. If he does have it, he's like, maybe you'll be careful, you'll die of cancer. Shit.
I mean, it's probably had something to do with the power plant, or it's genetic, like their family just got dealt a shitty hand. Or both. So you think he's gonna take it upon himself to try to solve the Mads case before he goes out, like his last mission?
Aber ich erinnere mich
Woran?
an genau diesen Moment.
And she was on the other end of it. Oh my god.
Achte auf Kowalczyk. Gleich lässt er seinen Stift fallen. Ich habe sie auf die andere Seite gebracht, damit du sie findest.
Oh, she brought her. Okay. That makes sense. We were wondering how Gretchen got through, remember?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Der Störfall letzten Sommer.
Oh shit.
Es ist doch noch was passiert.
See? That shows that maybe they saw it and they kind of blew it all
Yeah,
up. Maybe it was
blew it up,
nothing. And
yeah.
it's just, oh wait, it was something. That's crazy as fuck. They're sitting across from each other and old Claudia's like, oh, I was sitting literally where you're sitting at when I was talking to my older self.
Same
Like,
thing when Jonas and his older
God
self.
damn. Like when you think about it in that context, it's like, yeah, crazy. Crazy. Are they with the time call or is this a different faction? Oh shit. I'm gonna siphon the gas probably. He's siphoning the gas so he can power the generator. That's what it is, the generator's out of gas.
Oh shit.
You got big balls and a big brain, Jonas.
Crazy. You know he's alive, but still, you're still nervous for him.
Yeah, because I don't know what happens to him. Obviously, he accumulates a bunch of scars and shit, so.
Aber du hast von deiner Mutter auf jeden Fall nur die besten Sachen gehabt.
Damn.
Ich wusste nicht mal, dass es da welche gibt.
That sucks because, like, the cancer gene's spreading from generation to generation.
Ich liebe dich.
Oh, shit. She felt that.
Yeah, she did feel that. I mean, he loyal to her, stick by her. Like,
God.
damn, it's
She's
tough
reminiscing
transition.
about it.
Warum hat ihren Nachnamen angenommen?
Verstehe ich jetzt nicht, was hat das eine mit dem anderen zu tun?
Also wenn wir hier fertig...
I'll do the talking.
Damn, shush her.
Doch noch was, oder?
He's good at his job as far as interrogating, but shit.
Das Jahr kam ein Fremder ins Hotel. Das sind seine Sachen. Er ist nach ein paar Tagen wieder
When's
gegangen,
Mecco?
wollte das Zimmer aber behalten. Das hing überall an seinen Wänden.
Holy shit.
Time travel. See, Charlotte's gonna open.
Is she gonna talk to Peter about this?
Für ihn aufgebe.
An wen?
Jonas Kahnwald.
Her hands are shaking.
It's the page from the Journey Through Time book, I think. It's photocopied.
Elisabeth hat Schwimmunterricht, das habe ich ganz vergessen. Tut mir leid. Sie können sich...
You can take a taxi.
Yeah,
Evie.
fuck you. Or shush me in front of someone else again.
Yeah, don't undermine me again.
Damn, I think we're on the right track thinking that it's her and Peter that are putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
Damn, what are you about to ask her?
Dieser Fremde. Wie sah der genau aus?
See, I feel like he knows more than he's leading
That's
on.
what I'm about to say. Is he kind of
Like the way he looked at the picture in Charlotte's office, this shit.
But then again, he doesn't know everything, or else he would have stopped Charlotte.
He wants answers, but I feel like he knows enough to like know something's going on.
Oh shit! Never mind. They're not going through the passway. It
They're
didn't
just
get
using
closed
it
off.
here.
Ich hab dir gesagt, es wird einfacher zu verstehen sein, wenn du es erst gesehen hast.
Damn, so if it didn't break when he created the wormhole, at what point did it break? Or it needs to be repaired?
Shit.
This is crazy as fuck. What if they pop up right here? I mean, I'm guessing they'll pop up in the cave and they'll come out. They'll go to the same place.
Maybe.
If I had to guess.
Or are they gonna pop up right next to him? He feels something. He hears something.
Yeah, he feels the energy probably. It's probably familiar. He probably remembers that from when he came here. And look, it's the same sphere.
Woo, look at that.
Shit, we see it in action. Oh shit. See, he went to the cave because he felt the energy. He's like,
Müsstest du nicht in der Schule sein?
oh
No,
shit.
no,
No one's
no.
like, nah,
Nope, no.
none of that.
Damn.
Damn.
Manchmal weiß man eben nicht so recht, wohin mit sich selbst.
Damn.
He knows they're coming out. Like, oh, we gotta get.
Da würde ich aber lieber nicht
Sie.
rein.
Damn. What
Da drin ist es wie in einem Labyrinth.
Im Krankenhaus, da haben sie was gesagt. Das mit Gott. Dass er für jeden Menschen einen Plan hat. Wenn der Plan falsch ist und Gott sich irrt.
Gott irrt sich nicht.
It's crazy. 'Cause, like when he says God, I feel like he means chaos.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, because he doesn't believe in God.
Yeah.
Das ist die größte Entdeckung der Menschheit. Zugleich ihr Untergang. Es lässt sich durch die Zeit reisen.
See, she's got a working machine too.
In 5 Tagen beginnt alles neu. Ist Adam stoppen.
You must stop
Shit.
Adam.
Wer ist Adam?
Yeah, exactly.
Du verstehst es jetzt noch nicht. Aber bald. Du hast nicht mehr viel Zeit mit Regina.
God.
Aber wenn alles gelingt, dann wird sie leben.
Everything works out, she will live.
That's what she's trying to change. So
Well,
anyways,
does she mean referencing the apocalypse or referencing the cancer?
she said she'll live. I mean, because if she survives the apocalypse, she's still gonna die from cancer unless she's destined to survive it.
The cancer's like, what do you make me let me live another month? Great.
Maybe her thing is destroying the power plant so that she's never exposed to radiation to get the cancer.
Bitch, come on, you know what's coming.
Like, we told you not to go back there behind the wall. Like, now we gotta kill you.
No, they can't do it. They're not gonna kill him. They can't.
Oh yeah, unless they have strict orders not to, but they're gonna probably lash him. They'll probably give him lashings and maybe try to hang him. Maybe they're the ones that hang him.
Die sind aus dem Buch. Das Buch, das mein Großvater geschrieben hat. Eine Reise durch die Zeit.
Yeah.
Aber er wusste, dass das alles wahr ist.
She's figuring it out.
Warum hatte er dieses Foto?
$1 million question.
Warum hat er mir nie gesagt, wer meine Eltern wirklich
My
sind?
parents really were. Shit.
And those would be.
Oh no.
See, that's what happens. Until he gets the scars.
You're a bitch. They're
But
both
that means
all
someone.
that.
That means someone saves him then.
Warum sagst du nicht, dass wirklich in der Todeszone ist?
Oh shit.
Damn.
Are we
ruthless.
sure that she doesn't have instructions not to kill him?
Alle werden sterben. In 5 Tagen, in meiner Zeit. Euer Paradies, das gibt es nicht. Aber
Damn.
hinter der Mauer.
Oh
Fuck.
shit.
Yeah, I don't think anyone told him not to kill Jonas. No remorse, like no question, like no. Oh, but she shoots the rope down. Okay.
Oh.
So it's just a warning, like next time I will kill you.
How does she get the scar on her face? Is it kind of the same thing?
And who is she?
Hallo, Mann verhaftet. Hat damals 2 Kinder getötet.
Oh shit.
Ich wollte wissen, was aus dem geworden ist.
So does he realize by now it's Orlick? It's a question.
No, I don't think so yet. But he's
Was ist immer noch hier?
Oh shit.
he's still here.
Oh shit.
Wo?
Where? Get
He's gonna go visit Ulrich. Old Ulrich.
fuck out of here. No.
Let's fucking go.
Ich möchte mit einem Patienten sprechen.
So he was transferred to a mental hospital from the jail?
Probably for the shit he was spilling off.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hat er auch Freigang?
Nein, der ist in der geschlossenen.
He said some crazy shit. I mean, he's had 34 years almost to think about this shit. Damn, he got stuck in 53. It's fucking nuts.
Mein Name ist Egon Tiedemann. Ich habe
Oh my god.
verhaftet.
This is his future. This is his arc.
This is his destiny.
Egon Tiedemann.
Oh my god, I can't believe this shit. I mean, figured this would happen. Fuck.
Wie könnte ich dich jemals vergessen? My only aim is to take many lives.
That
The
quote.
more, the better I feel.
That quote.
Damn.
Das haben Sie schon mal gesagt. Was hat das zu bedeuten?
Das bedeutet, dass du Trottel immer noch nichts verstanden hast.
And at this point, he already said that to young Ulrich.
Ich weiß, wann du stirbst.
I know when you die. Oh.
Stand in der Zeitung.
Ich verstehe nicht.
Aber vielleicht ist es auch dein Schicksal, ahnungslos zu sterben, so wie du geboren wurdest.
God.
Jedem das, was er verdient.
Oh no. Come on.
Because Egon's never really fully grasped the scope of what's actually happening.
Come on, you gotta dig a little bit more. Go back to that scene. That's fucking crazy. He's there.
I think it's a different actor. They just found brilliant casting. Found an old guy who looks just like adult
Or was it
Ulrich.
Oregon? They just did really good.
I mean, based on how they cast people to look exactly like that, I would figure they hired someone else.
Damn.
In a cage.
Bro, that's how I got. So I thought. Cause remember he said that when Stranger sat with Jonas, your dad saved my life.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're going to probably get a profound meaning of what that actually meant.
Damn. So mad at myself though. Like, oh, I know that technically I have to go through this for the pick yourself, but you can let me get like a heads up. We're in the cave.
I want to know who you are. I feel like...
There's some significance with you.
And are you from this timeline, or are you from a different timeline as well?
Warum hat sie dich nicht getötet? Wer bist du wirklich? Wer bist du?
The question is, who are you? Damn, breaks, right?
Ich will, dass du es mir zeigst,
Oh shit.
Damn.
was wirklich in der Todeszone ist.
So that means, like, does he take her to a different time period?
I don't know, but who is she then?
Wouldn't it be some crazy shit if she was Charlotte's mom? Because Charlotte's like, who my parents? Why didn't you tell me who my parents were?
But the transition to Charlotte,
Shit.
it's weird. Oh man, who are my real parents? Is she gonna find something about it?
That's what I'm saying. Because what if that girl goes back in time. I think it's her grandfather. And who's the daughter? Show me. The daughter's her. I'm like, oh shit.
Or is that Charlotte? No.
No, I think that's Townhouse's daughter. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how it's possible. Maybe it's like an adopted daughter.
And you see Enos.
She's gonna instantly remember. Like, yeah, I remember when I first met you. Is he putting it together? Like, oh
more
my
of a combo with them.
Is he putting it together yet? Like Egon, he's like, oh my god, it's Ulrich. Because he's thinking about when did I hear that before? Oh yeah, when I was in your fucking bedroom.
Yeah, that's powerful right there. I think she loves me.
It's her.
It is her.
That's her. The scar.
How did she get the scar? Okay, so...
Holy shit.
So who's the father?
Damn, what's she looking for? What did her older self bury? Oh.
The time machine.
So Claudia, in that scene in the cave, she went back to 1953 and buried it so 86 Claudia would dig it up.
Oh, damn.
Oh shit. Gives her the time machine. Wow. And that's how she goes to 2052?
Ich weiß, es macht alles keinen Sinn, aber das da ist vielleicht der einzige Weg, um zurück nach Hause zu kommen. Keine Ahnung, ob es funktioniert.
When is this gonna take them if they go through it?
Please go through it. So we'll have a couple of zappies and spear. It's like, alright, come on, touch me.
Ob ich da drin sterbe oder da draußen, macht keinen Unterschied mehr.
Shilling grabs you.
Do it.
Both of you go through. Holy shit. No, don't end it there. Fuck!
It's gonna end it there. It's gonna end it there. Credits.
Fuck! Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy hell. Dark Matter. Glacier, what do you think?
One of my favorite episodes. It's hard to have a favorite in this show. I mean, you really can't have a favorite. They're all great, but this is... I got some of my questions that we wanted answered.
Yeah, some little theories that we kind of predicted. We had more questions, which are going to probably bring up more theories, more spaghetti, more walls.
Yeah, so we're not over the place. A good thing Ember got us a little timeline of notes here. So
yeah, so first thing I'm going to talk about is obviously Claudia, old Claudia, finally confronting 86 Claudia.
That scene was crazy too. It just brought back when Jonas met the stranger, and stranger confirmed Jonas. He's like holding the dog, and you can see their eye color was actually the same because they had like the different color, brown and blue.
But it's crazy. Yeah,
this is my dog, which is your dog.
And it's crazy in the beginning of the episode. Egon even says, "This is like a dog that we had back in '53," and Claudia hasn't played off. Oh no, it's a different dog. They just look alike.
I feel
bad. It's crazy that Egon even like mentioned it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy thing is like they're sitting in the office facing each other, and when you realize that old Claudia is pretty much saying like I was sitting exactly where you were sitting when I was visited by my older self. So this is literally like an endless dance that's meant to get you. I'm meant to come here as an old person to talk to you as a young person. And essentially her main thing was to show her that time travel exists.
Yep.
And then old Claudia takes the time machine, goes back to 53 and buries the time machine, and so that 86 Claudia can dig it up.
Yep.
Which I'm like, I wonder why she didn't just give her the time machine instead of going through all that for her to find it herself.
Probably like one of those things like a butterfly effect. It's gotta be this to that to this.
And the thing is, so that means old Claudia's in 53. She buries the time machine, which means she doesn't use it anymore. So is that the end of her loop, or does she stop time traveling from there, or does she just use the tunnel now?
No, she probably uses the tunnel. She probably uses the tunnel.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, that's just. I mean, again, you could be right. She cannot travel. I don't know where she retires at. She eventually passes away because this loop happened. So old Claudia has to pass. I just don't know if she passes in 52, or if she.
Yeah.
When does Claudia?
Maybe I'm sure. Like as we're progressing on, we're gonna find out the end of Claudia's timeline, where her story ends.
Yep.
Same way we found out with Helgi. But that means that if 86 Claudia digs up the time machine, that'll explain like what happened to her when she disappeared. We thought that she like got sucked in by that wormhole that Jonas creates in the season finale of season 1.
Yep.
In reality, she has a time machine, so she literally just goes 33 years in the future to 2019. And my guess is she just ages from 2019 and becomes old Claudia in 2052, which means that she was probably in the bunker when the reactor exploded. Like the apocalypse happens. She survives by hiding in that bunker.
Yep.
So what I want to see, just to confirm, is I want to see a scene where she's in the room in the 80s. Oh, no, how would that work? Well, no, I guess I want to see at what point does somebody take the time machine chair out of that room and turn it into where it's just empty.
Yeah, because it happens between 1986 and 2019.
Because Charlotte and Peter and Tronti, of course, when they're in the room, it's empty.
Like, who finds it and they're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I want to see like that scene where the chair itself is dismantled. Maybe Noah does it himself. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy as fuck, the whole interaction, her meeting her younger self, and moving on. So the next thing I noticed is there's a scene where Hannah's looking at photographs.
Yeah.
We kind of assumed that she was just looking at like a photo album that she already had, because the first photo she is of her, Michael, and Jonas.
Yep.
But then she also, we had to go back and we noticed, and we were trying to find something else. You notice she's holding a picture of a little girl, blonde hair. It seems like she's wearing the same red book bag that Mikkel had.
Yeah, she's from like the 80s.
She looked like she's from the 80s. She was like a tie-dye shirt.
Yeah.
So who the fuck is that girl?
Yeah, it's like...
Because she looks at it and then like just moves on because Jonas comes down.
Yeah, it's weird because they focus on it like we're like a little Easter egg. Like
Nothing's on purpose here. Nothing's on accident.
It's probably one of those things like they give it to you now, but you're not gonna know until you watch back. Like, oh, you sons of bitches.
And you probably forget about it until they bring it back up.
Yeah, until you go rewatch it again. Like,
we didn't forget. We looked it back up, and I'm never gonna forget that picture.
Yeah, I'll know that picture. It's just now if I see it, I just want to know how it's gonna tie back.
So yeah, that's gonna be spaghetti the ball. Who do you think the little girl is? And the question is, did the stranger give her those photos, or are those photos that she already had?
Yeah, I'm wondering. They had a photo album there, so that's what it's kind of like. Because then it could be anybody. He's like, oh, here's a bunch of random photos. Here's some of our father, but here's all the things I've traveled to all these timelines.
Because the thing there, a stranger is trying to convince his mother about time travel and everything going on with Mikkel and Michael. And I feel like he's telling her, and I guess on the surface she's like wants to believe it because obviously the other option is, oh, my son's dead, missing, just like.
And I got this crazy ass loony.
And I got this loony guy here that's just talking shit. So she's probably choosing to believe it, but at the same time she probably like still doesn't make sense. So he needs to prove to her that shit exists. So
and then why though?
Yeah, what is Hannah's key in the whole scheme of things?
Because like you said, it might be, you thought maybe bringing her, and I thought the same thing, like maybe she's bringing 86 or 87 to protect her from the apocalypse, but he's still trying to prevent it. He's like, nah, I'm just want to show you this to believe it.
I think it's just so she understands the scope of everything that's happening. And so and the thing is, they go in the cave because he said that's the safest place to time travel. He uses the time machine, and then we only assume that they go, I mean, obviously they go to 1986 because we see her looking at Mikkel through the window.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they time travel. Young Mikkel's walking through the woods because he skipped school that day, and I feel like that scene was saying that he feels the same energy he felt when he time traveled the first time.
Yep.
Right? We still don't technically know how he got there, right? Did they explain how Mikkel actually gets to 86? If it's through the tunnel or using a time machine?
Oh no, we still haven't got it.
We only assume that he went through the tunnel.
It's kind of like how they when Hannah and the stranger.
Yeah, it's like that sphere, and
that's how I looked at it. Is because Jonas literally fell down. He looked up, and Mikkel was gone.
Because
they were running through the woods. I don't even remember they were near the cave. I think they were.
And it complicates things the fact that Mikkel at the same thing had that same feeling, which I feel like made him like, oh shit, I gotta go back to the cave. Maybe it's my way home. I think that's what
maybe what he did too. Like,
so maybe he traveled the same way.
Maybe he traveled through the cave, but that's crazy because he went, or maybe he got to the cave, and at that point, I don't know, because he never mentions anyone like brought him through.
Yeah, or either he doesn't want to say it, or he doesn't remember what happened, but he remembers that feeling. So that kind of leads me to believe that we're gonna see a scene of how Mikkel gets to 86. And I have a feeling it's gonna be using the time machine.
Yeah, could be.
But anyways, he gets there and Noah's there waiting for him because obviously Noah probably knows that the stranger is probably bringing Hannah through the time machine at that point in time. And he obviously doesn't want them to run into Mikkel because it could fuck everything up. Because he's trying to protect Jonas because Jonas is the key to this whole loop.
That's crazy though. Like you're thinking about, you have like you have your daily tasks like an hour regular, like, well, get my coffee, go to work, drive. Like, what's Noah's schedule? Like, shit, what day is it? Oh fuck, I gotta be here at exactly 10:15 because fucking Mikkel's gonna go towards the cave. He's not in school.
Yeah, he's gonna go each year. Like, I gotta stop this from happening. I gotta prevent this. I gotta stop this. Keep all the
like him and Stranger have too much. Like they're the ones that have the most. Well, Stranger, Noah, and Claudia.
Yeah, they have like a to-do list of like a time to-do list pretty much. All this shit they gotta prevent. Like keep the flow.
Like you can't call out of work. That day.
You like wake up 5 minutes late and everything.
Mikkel go to the cave. Nah, fuck it. Maybe the Stranger will realize it.
Yeah, you oversleep 1 minute and it completely changes the way the world is. Like fuck. So there's that. Okay, and then we also have Egon. There's a scene with Egon as himself, like old Egon in 86 goes and visit 86 Helgi. Because obviously he's been trying to get a hold of him and Helgi's dodging his ass. He's trying to find out why didn't you take the forest road that day. And 86 Helgi finally kind of comes clean and says, pretty much said this man like told me I can change the past or the future. Egon says who, and he says, oh, the man with the stone. So I'm pretty sure he's talking about Ulrich, because I think Ulrich did say that to young Helgi in 53.
And he had the stone to beat his ass.
Yeah, beat his head in with the stone. But then he also starts talking about the White Devil, which I'm pretty sure he's talking about Noah at that point.
Yeah, he could be talking about Ulrich, like you said, or I think Noah. I think it's just Noah's more like, what is it, poetic or ironic, because he's the priest, the pastor, and you're referring to him as the devil. Even though he represents.
And he talks about like, oh, you're like, remember the episode where they're working on the chair, and Noah says to them, oh, you already seen hell, so we can't stop now because we already showed you hell. So that would make sense if he's talking about hell and apocalypse and chaos, that he would refer to Noah as the White Devil.
It's weird. Noah just throws me off because he doesn't believe in God, but he talks like he does when he talks to Mikkel.
I think what I'm kind of saying, like, I think anytime at this point, anytime he talks about God, I'm just thinking in my head that he's talking about chaos. I think he says God is chaos. I think he says that to Helgi.
Okay.
So to us, we're thinking that he's talking like God, but I think he just refers to God as chaos or chaos, however you want to say it. Could be wrong though, and it's kind of like how I.
It's crazy how that sticks in Mikkel's brain though. Like in Mikkel's
he's like this whole episode. He's talking about like
it's still,
God has a plan for us.
Yeah, and it still resonated with him to the point where he's like, "You said something to me in the hospital." Like it's still on his subconscious.
Yeah, it's like a seed that's just like sprouting more and more now. So it's crazy. I'm sure that's gonna pay dividends later.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we find out that in 86, Egon discovers he has cancer, so we kind of feel like it's a generational thing. I'm not sure if it's specifically because they live near a power plant and the radiation, especially all this time travel shit going on.
Yeah.
Or if it's just he was born with shitty genes, because obviously we don't know Claudia has cancer. We can't assume so yet. I mean, she's still alive as an old woman.
Old woman, yeah.
But we obviously know Regina has cancer, so if it's just generational, then maybe just skip a generation from Egon to Gina.
But it leads him on this wild goose chase to find a crazy ass answer we wanted.
Yeah, and it's crazy thing because he still doesn't realize the person he arrested in 53 is Ulrich. He's just like a mystery guy, but he goes to visit him, and then it kind of confirms what we were saying, like, oh shit, Ulrich doesn't get out of jail in 53. He's gonna live his life there and be an old man in 86, which turns out to be the exact case.
Yeah, he gets instead of jail, he goes to
it's like a mental asylum, which makes sense.
I'm surprised he didn't get out. Like he's probably. I mean, I'm sure there was a period where he just years and years and years of him saying, "This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen." And then it does happen. And like, well, sorry, you're just crazy. You're just good at guessing. Lock him the fuck up.
And they call him inspector. That's his nickname in the hospital. But it's crazy as fuck because Egon goes and visits him, and he's pretty much and then old Ulrich, which I'm pretty sure it's a different cast. It's a different actor, but the way they do the casting is brilliant because you can tell me, oh, that was the same actor that played adult Ulrich. We just gave him some CGI, or not CGI. We gave him some prosthetics and called it a day. I'm pretty sure it's a completely different person, which is just kudos. Whoever is a casting director, they need bigger roles. They need to I don't know what else they've done, but they're like brilliant at casting. Yeah, shit. Anyways, so he says that line, which I wrote it down just so I fucking remember it. My only aim is to take many lives. The more, the better I feel. Which he says it again to Egon. And Egon's like, you said that to me before. And I feel like in that moment, Egon's referring to when he said it to him in 53.
Yeah, when he arrested him.
But at the end of the episode, and Egon's kind of like looking back, he's looking at the picture again of Ulrich's mugshot. Yeah. And I think at that moment he remembers when he went to visit young Ulrich in 86, and because I'm trying to remember, like, how did he even recite those lyrics to begin with? The song was playing, and he said the guy in the song says that lyric, and then when he turns the music off, he says Ulrich.
He doesn't even have to remember that far because he's in that time period.
It probably happened about
Ulrichs in the
6
same
months
time
ago
period.
or some shit.
They're both in the same time.
Exactly, there's two Ulrichs in the same time period, which is crazy. And it also ties back to all the signs, like the vandalism that Ulrich does at the plant, no future, the no future painting on his wall. It's perfect foreshadowing because he doesn't have a future.
He doesn't have a future.
He lives his life, and he probably dies in 1986. He lived his life in 53.
He's like living his life in 86 and dies in 86.
That's his future right there, no future. So it's crazy foreshadowing there, but I think Ulrich is purposely fucking with Egon by not telling him who he is. I'm sure it's like a splinter in Egon's brain. Like, who are you? And how do I know that lyric from? I know it from somewhere. And Ulrich's like wants to keep him in the dark. He's like, you get what you deserve. I feel like he purposely wants to get him in the dark so he dies miserable, like this little seed that's in his head that he can't.
And it's like Freud, he tells him, he's like, you better hurry, you die soon. I've seen it in the paper.
Crazy as fuck. But imagine someone telling you, like, oh, I know when you die.
Was it right about your wife leaving you?
He's called it. So yeah, crazy as fuck. So I think in that moment at the end of the episode, he remembers going into Ulrich's room, teenage Ulrich. So I think hopefully next episode or sometime, I hope he like confronts young Ulrich again.
Oh, he's like, yo, come with me. I want you to see where your life ends up, the way you keep doing. And then
shows him old Ulrich and
it probably doesn't really have an effect on him. He probably thinks, well, this guy's a Looney Tune. And he probably does it just to fuck with both of them. Here's my final fuck you. If I'm going out, eat me.
Yeah, I feel like Egon will do that as revenge. I'm gonna fuck your life up.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you meet your younger.
What if that's part of a loop? That's why Ulrich's all fucked up when he becomes a cop.
And maybe that's why maybe that's what gives Ulrich that extra boost to start opening his mind about the time travel shit. Like,
yeah, maybe that's why he accepted it a lot faster than most other people.
Because remember, before he goes in the cave with Helgi, he's falling. He's like, the question's not where is Helgi, when is Helgi? And that was before he went in the cave.
So maybe that whole realization ties back to a moment where Egon goes and visits young Helgi and makes him visit his older self.
I hope so. If not, it's whatever. But if they do that shit, that should be fucking crazy. Because young Ulrich will be like whatever, but the old Ulrich will be like, oh fuck you, because it'll fuck with him seeing himself right there.
Yeah, especially knowing that that's where he's gonna die.
And Egon's right there is like, eat me.
Like, I get the last laugh.
I get the last laugh before I go out.
Holy shit. But so moving on, the whole scene with like Magnus and Francesca. So we're trying to figure out why is Francesca visiting that prostitute.
Yep. And
Magnus thinks, oh, you're trying to follow in her footsteps and prostitute. That's how you're getting this money. You're giving anal and blowjobbies and all that shit. But we find out that Francesca is just selling the prostitute hormone therapy because I'm guessing he's transitioning to be a woman.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm trying to think, like, how did that whole relationship even start? Like, how did they even work out that deal? Because obviously her dad, it seems like her dad was the one that was giving the hormone therapy in exchange for sex because he didn't have money. Or maybe he had money but he didn't want any like paper trails tying back so Charlotte
Yeah, like where's all the money going? Where
exactly. I think maybe it's more so that, because he's a therapist. I'm pretty sure he makes a decent living.
The wife's a detective, so I'm just eliminating all paper trails. As far as the prescriptions, they're for my patients.
And then that would make sense. He probably has patients that are in the same boat. Like, maybe that's how he met her. Maybe the prostitute was a patient of his and that's how they met. And he told him, oh, I want to be a woman, and that's how Peter got the prescription.
Or now I'm a woman, or people are talking shit about me, treating me like shit because I want to be a woman.
That would make sense how they even met to begin with. So.
Yep, and they could develop feelings by having a deep ass conversation. When you go to your psychiatrist, you're talking about some deep ass feelings.
But it's Peter that's initially probably writing this prescription of hormone therapy drugs.
Oh, you're probably right. I'm a bitch. Probably met therapy. Now we're just talking about it because we're gonna think about that off camera. Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think, like, how did Francesca even find out about it? Because I mean, Francesca knew that he was dating. He was that Peter's gay and is hooking up with that prostitute. I think like she kind of already figured. I don't know if she caught them or somehow she figured that shit out. So I think
they overheard a fight.
Yeah.
They either overheard an argument or saw it, and at that point she probably so pissed off, so bottled up, she confronted. I wish I would remember the names they put in the comments.
Let's call it a prostitute.
Prostitute for now. Confronted the prostitute, and then maybe they just worked out a deal where she heard both sides of the story, and she's like, well, whatever.
Yeah, because the prostitute's not getting it from Peter anymore because Peter stopped seeing him.
And she'll probably tell her like, hey, your father's not coming around anymore, I promise. But and maybe they just hashed it out where he's like, well, we'll work something out. How about I make it up to you? Bring me the hormones, I'll pay you money.
Yeah, something that's how. But then there's still that tie because Alexander is paying the prostitute to keep the chemicals in like that lot.
Jeez, well, her prostitute's making money all different ways.
And then also Francesca knew where Eric's drugs were in the first episode or the second episode, and Eric was getting drugs from Alexander from what we can tell. So I feel like all those relationships were connected. I want to get more into it. It's not connecting right this second between like the whole dynamic between like Francesca and Alexander and the prostitute.
When you brought up Alexander, that brings up another point I want to go back to. It's just a small point. I want to know what Claudia meant when she said maybe she will live when she's referring to Regina. Does she mean Regina will live through the apocalypse, or does she mean beating cancer?
Yeah, because I'm thinking she's trying to straighten out the timeline. So she's trying to change how it's already going. And she also told her younger self you have to stop Adam. So that means Claudia knows who Adam is.
Right.
So it strikes a fair question. Who the fuck? We still don't know that, but we know he's integral to the shit. So, but yeah, when she says that I can save Regina, like if this works, then Regina will live. So is she trying to destroy the power plant or prevent it from getting built at all? But yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe she's trying to prevent the plant from getting built, period. And now, because maybe it's the plant's radiation that's causing all the cancer in town.
Yeah. And that made me, this episode made me like Alex a little bit more. Not that I didn't like him, but the younger self, he's.
It shows like he genuinely.
You can see Regina's got some confidence now.
Yeah, the way she's like leaving the house and she's not all like
hair
timid.
Down. She looking good.
Yeah, and so now talking about the Peter chick. This is when shit gets real spicy. So we find out, of course, Jonas obviously figures out how what we'll call how the portal works because of the Claudia's tapes.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. The construction of that portal, like it's a liquid, gas, and solid simultaneously. There was some kind of paradox. She mentioned how like it defies like the rule of like thermophysics, but it honors the rule of something. I have to go back and watch that scene, but he's pretty much learning the tapes, and by doing so, learning how it works. So I'm pretty sure it's Claudia that uses the generator to power and to sustain that portal where it's an actual portal. It's not all like chaotic and like it looks like static shit.
Yeah, and I'm guessing you can still touch it when it's all chaotic, but maybe it probably fucks you up.
It kind of turns chaotic when he like gets it to work and he touches it. It becomes chaotic. It's almost like wrapping around his arm, like almost like drawing him into it.
Yep.
And then when he goes in, it gets chaotic again.
I was wondering if you touch it when it's already chaotic.
I mean, it definitely interacts when you touch it, but the fact that like he was able to siphon gas from the tank because he knows the generator works on gas, and that's why he couldn't sustain it earlier in the episode because I'm guessing the generator ran out of gas.
Yep.
So he gets the gas, he gets the generator to work, he takes that girl with him with the scar, which I guess going back, so he gets caught by Elizabeth. Because obviously it's pretty much a death sentence if you go behind the wall.
Yeah, so I guess when we think they had security, he just happened to get lucky. Like it's light security. They patrol the area, and this one time he went through the wall. They're like, "Oh, we're happening to be right here when you're here. Wrong place, wrong time."
But the fact that like Elizabeth initially, I thought, because initially we were thinking that maybe Noah told that whole cult under no circumstance are you to kill Jonas. You're gonna meet him at this specific time. He's too important to the big paradise scheme.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Unless Elizabeth knows Jonas, but like when we get the flashback, Jonas is already gone missing, and Elizabeth.
I don't think. Yeah, we've never seen a scene where Elizabeth and Jonas even like interact. I'm sure they know each other because it's a small town and he knows the Doppler family. Yeah, but I don't think it would be like, oh, we were close back in the day, and that's why I didn't kill you. I think it's like
it could be. I mean, she could know who he is and like maybe recognize the face of Kennedy. I know you're. Because he's like, I'm from my timeline. He says her timeline.
Yeah, he's like, the world's gonna end in 5 days, and I feel like she lives through that, right? So she would also.
Yeah, because her face is all disfigured from it. So she's probably like remembering that. And maybe that's like, okay, it could be that, or it could be Noah.
I feel like Noah at some point got to her when she was a kid in 2018 and brainwashed her about this paradise and this and the other. She protects it at all costs. So he probably told her, if anybody goes behind that wall, kill them because it's a danger to your paradise.
With the exception of Jonas.
With the exception of Jonas. So
fuck him up.
But for a second, I thought she was gonna kill him. I thought that's how he gets this. I mean, we were right, and that's how he gets a scar on his neck. But I was like, wait, how can he die at in Because if he dies there, obviously he doesn't grow to be old Jonas.
Yeah, I thought Mikkel saves him because I remember he referred to a scene like your dad saved my life. So I thought it was at that point because his life was.
We still haven't seen that
so
play
maybe
out.
That's a different scene.
But obviously, it seems like she just wanted to like do it as a warning. She's like, I could kill you right now. I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna shoot you in the leg. I'm gonna hang you so you just feel like you're gonna die, and then I'm gonna shoot you down.
Yeah.
But the girl with the scar on her face sees that and like, why do you live and everybody else that breaks the rule dies?
Yep.
And that's what makes her break Jonas out of that cage, and then Jonas shows her the portal. And that gets me to thinking because she's like, who are you? And then he goes through the portal and she doesn't, at least yet.
Yeah.
Here's my theory there, because they tied back, they did a lot of smooth transitions there where they kind of go from showing her to showing the picture that Elizabeth found in a townhouse and that little redhead.
And the little redhead looks kind of like you said. At first I thought it was Charlotte.
I had to like do it side by side. I'm pretty sure it's the same girl. And if that's the case, in this episode, Charlotte's also trying to figure out, she asks a very important question. Why did they not tell me about who my parents were? And she leaves it at that when she's like talking to Peter and she's like, oh, this, you know, because Regina gives him the stuff that's in the stranger room. And she's like, oh, he has like pictures and shit from that book that my grandfather wrote. And why didn't he tell me who my parents really were?
Yep.
Because remember, we go back to that scene. Peter tells Elizabeth, oh, your grandparents died before your mom was born. Now, the $1 million question is he telling the truth when he tells Elizabeth that, or is that just a cover from something else?
And remember, also, Townhouse had a picture of the whole thing with Noah and Adam, so he could have also got the blueprint from one of them, with Adam, from the future people.
I mean, we asked the question in the beginning of the episode, how does Townhouse tie to Adam and Noah? And I feel like, the logistics don't make sense, but I feel like that girl is Charlotte's mom. Just the way they did the editing and the way it seems like that girl.
The show you can't.
Like, I just want them to make it make sense.
Impossible. Yeah, that's the thing. And the dark side, don't worry, we'll make it make sense and blow your mind at the same time.
Because here's the thing, because we would almost have to assume that little girl was born in that future. Well, it's almost like she grew up in that future.
It's almost the same, almost like how Mikkel is Michael.
Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking there. So somehow I'm thinking that little girl with the scar on her face goes through the portal after Jonas does. I don't know, we don't know exactly when Jonas goes to. We haven't figured that out yet. But I feel like she goes in that time portal and somehow goes back to where she's in the same time period as HG Townhouse, right?
Yeah.
And it's in the same relationship that Enos has with Mikkel. I feel like Townhouse maybe like, I don't know how she gets there. Maybe she goes to his clock shop and says, oh, I'm from the future, da-da-da. And this is probably after Townhouse has already built a time machine. I don't know at what point it happens, but I think at some point maybe he takes care of her, maybe adopts her as an adopted daughter, and then she ends up growing up, meeting some mystery guy, which we don't know, and has Charlotte.
But it has to be like before that too, because it has to be like...
The confusing part though, we're kind of thinking is the picture, it's 86 Townhouse with the same young girl, but she's not all fucked up. She doesn't have a scar yet.
Yeah.
Which is like weird. It's like, okay, so how would that make sense? Unless she wasn't born in that timeline, maybe she was sent there by Townhouse. Maybe she's from the 86 timeline, and at some point, HG Townhouse sends her to the future because he knows what's going to happen. I don't know. That part we haven't figured out. I do feel like that's Charlotte's mom. Yeah. I just haven't figured out the logistics of it, and we have some suspects on who Charlotte's dad could be.
Yeah.
First off, I think his name's Clausen, Charlotte's boss.
Yeah, Charlotte's boss.
He knows more than he's letting on to believe. Because he finds that picture that's on Charles' desk of the picture that Townhouse had in 1921 of Adam and Noah. And he looks at it like not that he recognizes it, but he knows something, right?
Yeah.
And then in the scene when they're investigating Regina, Charlotte leaves.
He's like, no, y'all don't know something. I'm just really nosy. Come on, you know my character. I'm nosy.
Yeah. Charlotte leaves and he asks Regina specifically about the stranger. Like, what did describe to me what the stranger looked like? So I'm trying to put it together. Like, why does he know? Like, why does I feel like he knows something? And it would make sense if somehow I'm just thinking a lot, but what if somehow he's Charlotte's father and he got together and let's say that girl from the future is Charlotte's mother. Charlotte, that girl obviously has met Jonas,
and they got the Jonas name from that interview too.
Yeah, because Regina says, the kid or the stranger gave this package and told me to send it to somebody at a specific day, and they said, who? Jonas called.
And Jonas is missing.
Jonas is missing. And now Hannah's missing too, so they can't even go to Hannah and ask, oh yeah, where's your son? Because now she's in 1986.
Maybe that's why the stranger took her.
Maybe that's why, so they didn't interrogate Hannah about where Jonas is.
Or if they do, Hannah will know, and Hannah will be like thrown off. But I don't know, because now when they go back, see, I don't know how much.
It's all very interesting. It's like, yeah,
is the stranger gonna get caught and then have to get interrogated like Ulrich?
Yeah, because he can't get stuck in the past because he won't be able to do all the shit. And,
I mean, he won't be able to get arrested, but they're gonna hold him. They probably have evidence where they can hold him, but
it'll pretty much be a repeat of Egon and Or. Like they're gonna hold him until they can make it make sense.
And then especially he's not giving who his name is, who you are.
Yeah.
Like, you know, fuck it, 2019 DNA, like Jonas.
But yeah, going back to Clausen, I feel like he's definitely a suspect just for that reason. I can't, like, that's the only thing I can go off of. I feel like he knows more than he's putting out. He doesn't know everything. That's why he's trying to get more information.
Yeah.
It also kind of proves, I feel like we're on the right track when we say it's Charlotte and Peter that are the ones that are doing the investigative work and putting the pictures on the wall in the bunker.
Yep.
Because that would make sense that they put all the pictures up. They still weren't able to connect Jonas to the stranger.
Now they got all the stranger's pictures now too from that box.
Yeah, but by the time we see Jonas in that bunker in the future, the line is connected between,
which is what Claudia probably did.
So yeah, that's the question. Is Claudia the one that figured it out? But she didn't figure out everything else. Maybe Claudia came in the bunker and all the pictures are already there, and based on what Claudia already knows, she was able to connect the line between Jonas and
connecting the line.
But I don't think she did any other investigative work. She was just that scene where she's staring at it. I feel like she's staring because she just stumbled across it.
Right.
If I had to guess.
Yeah.
So that whole shit's crazy as fuck. I want to see that develop. Other than that, Adam, we don't know shit about Adam, so Adam could very well be Charlotte's father.
Just to be a bombshell, which would still be like, if that is the father, it's like, okay, well, still want to know who Adam is before he got fucked up.
Yeah, I feel like he's some crazy integral character, but I feel like he is using that portal, which is why, and he's using it without a hazmat suit, which is why he has the little radiation scar.
And then the third suspect could be Noah. There's the whole pocket watch shit and passing it down.
Yeah, because we still don't, we assume when Charlotte gets that pocket watch from Elizabeth, she says it's from Noah, we only assume because Townhouse works in a clock shop that Townhouse gave it to her as a little girl.
Yeah.
But it could have very well came from her parents.
Right. I mean, there could have been an Easter egg back then when they gave the clock foreshadowing, like, hey, this is her grandfather.
Yeah, but that's all very interesting. Like, Charlotte's storyline is getting real spicy now. Her whole a whole Doppler storyline is getting crazy.
And then what if on some like crazy shit it's Jonas?
I mean, obviously they're developing some kind of relationship.
They're like
the
the
girl,
same age in a way, and that would be fucking ridiculous.
Because Jonas is just coming and going. Let's say Jonas, because we don't know when Jonas goes when he goes.
That's like literally, that's like throwing like ridiculous spaghetti at the wall. But if it was, you could figure out how big of a significant that if you take Jonas out at a young age, what that does.
Oh,
or you take Mikkel out. You just take him out, like, oh, bye.
Then there's no Jonas.
Well, you're not just killing him. Just take him back to 2019. Let him live his life in 2019. No Jonas.
No Charlotte. That's the
no Charlotte and no timeline.
I mean, if there's no Charlotte, there's no Elizabeth. There's no Francesca. What ramifications does that lead?
There's the timeline's not created. So like Mikkel and Jonas are off limits. That's why even when Jonas went back in the hospital, fucking Noah's right there. Like Noah's like full on security.
Oh, yeah, he's full on time security. He make a good TV agent.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I feel you see like the net is so tightly woven. Like any kind of you pull one little thread out of that shit and it unravels everything.
So one of those days, like I said, Noah calls out one day, oversleeps that alarm clock. That's his ass.
Yeah, that's his ass. But we didn't see any of that older, what we assume is Bartosz. We didn't get any 1921 storyline this episode. But this season, I mean, I didn't think it could get any better in season 1. You guys said it that it just gets better and better, and season 2 is gonna blow your brains out of your skull. I'm starting to believe it just off the second episode.
Yeah, that's like fucking. I think I'm looking forward to discussions, and then again, I'm not. It's like, oh
yeah, I just hope you guys appreciate how long it takes us to edit these fucking outros. They're all like 30, 45 minutes.
I appreciate every one of you that listen to these discussions, because there's a lot of you that listen to it all the way through, so thank you for that.
It makes it worthwhile. It makes me feel like we're putting the work in, and you guys are actually listening to it and getting something out of it.
Yeah, at least makes us feel better that we're not just rambling on, because this show just makes me want to talk about it.
We can talk another hour, 2 hours, but I'll say this. Final thoughts, Glacier?
Yeah, another great episode. I love this show. Like I said, it's growing on me with each and every scene. Like I said, I said in the comments before, I was commenting back and forth with a lot of the viewers here, that when I said this show doesn't even have an episode that's like one of those, there's great shows that have those episodes that are like, I could probably give.
There's no filler.
No filler, right. Not even just scenes.
I
haven't even found a scene that's like, when I watch it, I'm like, oh, come on. I want to see what happens to Ulrich. Or I want to see what
when they say about everybody. When they say everything's connected, they mean that shit. I've never seen a show this intricately plotted. Like, even in the best shows I've ever seen, there's some scenes where I feel like I don't really mean it. Maybe it's just for
and they finally gave us a little answer. I know my theory was wrong. Also, forgot Ember didn't address it. I'm surprised he didn't, because he likes to admit when I'm wrong. But I thought Gretchen is the one that opened the doors with super dog strength, but apparently Claudia let him in. But it's stuff like that, these little answers that we get, but Dragon certified.
Yep, and then with every answer, like I said, we get 10 more questions. I don't want to say any names about who the little girl is in that picture that Hannah's holding, but she's a blonde. Could she be related to Charlotte or that girl that came that with the scar on her face in the future? I don't know. I'm just going off hair color at this point, but I want to find out who that is. I feel like it's gonna blow the doors off some other can of worms.
Yeah.
The show continues to prove why it's a masterpiece. Dragon certified fucking hit. There you have it, guys. Another one in the books. Real question is, what did you guys think on there in Dragstone Land? Of course, if there's any integral piece of information that we should know that we don't, please let us know without any spoilers. And again, how is our theorizing so far in season 2? Leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, join the Dragon Squad, and remember, it doesn't matter if you're up to 5 Squad or the Ice Squad. At the end of the day, when you're a dragon, you're a dragon. That's the end of the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We are Reaction Dragons. I am Ember, the Blaze,
and I'm Glacier, the Iceborn.
And until next time, we'll see you next time.